Hi, everybody. Meteorologist Joe Chaffee. Weather in 5 days in 5 minutes as we get our weekend underway. No doubt that today is going to be a rather warm and rather humid day. There's a feeling of tropical humidity in the air. So that means that there's the possibility that we could see a few pop-up showers and thunderstorms running around, but they're going to be widely scattered. Let's quickly run through the high temperatures for today. Everybody's going to be in a range in the low to mid 80s. There's some cloud cover that's going to limit the sun in a few places, and again, we look for the possibility of some pop-up storms. I think the best chances for them will be inland. They will be scattered and in some cases isolated in nature, and that runs the stretch from Northeast Virginia down into southern New England. And if they pop up, look for those storms to really kind of not last very long. They tend to go in 20 or 30 minutes. So here are your high temperatures for today. Sunday will be the warmer weekend day. We've got drier air that'll be starting to move southward, so there'll be a tendency to have more of a northwest wind, and that will start to heat things up. Middle to upper 80s. Might see a couple of spots to get close to the 90-degree mark. Again, we're in a period right now where the weather from Northeast Virginia through southern Pennsylvania, New Jersey, into southern New England is fairly uniform. And Monday is, let's call Monday humidity relief day. That humidity will take a nosedive Sunday night into Monday morning, especially from New York City on northward. If you're, in this north of this red line, you're going to get into some really delightful air. There will be some humidity relief further south, but it will probably be a bit more limited. Nonetheless, I think it's going to feel rather nice. And then as we move on through next week, it's back to humidity and warm temperatures. Tuesday, look for temperatures in the upper 80s to near 90 in spots. And Wednesday, I think, will be a shot for some severe weather with the next cold front. And there will be a series of weather fronts to follow, with the jet stream pattern setting up to be rather active and unusually far to the south for this time of year. So looking at the radar, this is as of mid-morning, and you can see there's really not a whole lot going on. You got to wait for a little daytime heating to take place. But again, isolated pop-ups. That's the radar centered in Upton. Here's the radar centered in Dover. So we can take a look at south central and southeastern Pennsylvania, southern New Jersey, and points south. Again, as of mid-morning, not much going on. But a couple of pop-ups can't rule out. And by the way, you can't rule out the possibility that some of those pop-ups could get briefly strong and produce some very, very localized flash flooding. Sometimes you could see that happen. But you can watch them on the radar. They literally last all of about 30 minutes from build up to decay phase. Here's your regional view. A couple of some action up in central New England with some showers moving mid-morning across Massachusetts. Otherwise, it's fairly quiet. So the pattern this week is very interesting. The northern part of the jet stream, again, doing one of these retreats that we've seen from time to time. So all this warm, humid air that's down here, that time it migrates back northward. And we're certainly in that air mass today. But we're going to see a dip in the jet stream for Sunday night and Monday, and that brings in some dry air. But take a look as we get into Wednesday. This is a rather strong shortwave trough that's coming in. The jet stream dips all the way south into North Georgia and then goes northeast from there. There is a strong shortwave trough that is going to be producing some rather gusty winds. We're looking at the 10,000 foot level in the atmosphere. I like to look at this as a measure of whether there's a possibility of widespread thunderstorm activity and severe weather, and it kind of shows up a bit here on Wednesday. So we're going to be paying attention to that next week. After that, as we go through next week, it's really this northwest flow and one shortwave trough after another, and that runs right through the 10-day forecast period if you want to go out that far. So bottom line is we are going to have fronts on a regular basis. When they come through, they'll bring showers and thunderstorms. And in between that, we'll get some shots of dry air It'll get very warm and humid ahead of each front, but I don't expect any kind of prolonged heat waves with the pattern like this. Very quickly in the tropics, we have this elongated tropical wave. Does the showers and thunderstorms have increased during the overnight, but you'll notice that it's all stretched out, and the Hurricane Center just continues to lower the possibility of any kind of tropical storm development, which makes complete sense to me. There are a couple of other waves out in the Atlantic. I really don't think that the upper air conditions are favorable for tropical cyclone development going through the weekend. There's just too much going on in the upper atmosphere as far as strong winds to have that happen. So for the time being, as the first few days of August get underway and we move along, we should be tropical storm and hurricane free. I would say probably for at least the next 3 or 4 or 5 days. All right, folks, that's weather in 5. Enjoy your weekend. Whatever you have planned, please do it safely. We'll have website posts, app updates, updates on the app. And by the way, if you have an Android device, your app should have updated to where now you can get your local forecast will automatically default to your location. So when you open it up, if you go to local, it should go to wherever you happen to be. It might take a second or two for it to set that, but it's a new added feature. And if you're on Long Island, there's a Long Island tab. So I'll be updating Long Island forecasts specifically for those of you on Long Island or for those of you who are traveling to Long Island. That's on the Android device. I don't know whether it's reached the iPhone devices, but it's supposed to. So if somebody has an iPhone, they want to let me know whether they have an update on there. That would be terrific. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow right here on Weather in 5.